was an ambush.
How many did you save?
Just like a dream.
You did the only thing you could do. And you lost.
Like a dream.
Look, we're still in this thing.
The day you walked away.
But we have no idea what we're dealing with.
Unfortunately. Will you haunt me like a dream?
Things are getting worse around here, aren't they?
Boyd, we're out of food.
Too many things are changing. I have to remember.
Remember what?
What's missing?
Nothing that I've been through is possible.
I think you're here for what's in the basement.
This place will not break us. We can still win. But the only way we go home is together.
Hello.
Hit him, Mom! Go!
The game here is rigged. Why can't they leave us alone?
No matter what this place throws at us, we're gonna find our way home. Everybody just talks about how afraid they are of dying. Well, I don't think that's the worst thing that can happen to you here.
Hello?
Like a dream.
Are you looking for these?
Into my life.
You can't save them all.
But things are really how they seem.
Well, what's up, everybody? It's the movie guru, and I figured I would jump on here. We got a lot to talk about. The season 3 is halfway done. We've seen some crazy stuff going on, and I really always like to go back and look at some of those original trailers because, so much they show us that we didn't know what was going on at the time. And it's always great to go back and take a look at it. So I started this stream off playing that original trailer that came out before the season was released. And there's so many crazy things that we saw in that trailer now that we can talk about. And that's what I'm here to do, is talk about that stuff and, just share the hype for what might be with, episode 6. And of course, if you guys are not familiar with my page, I'm the movie guru. I take movies seriously, and theorizing is just what I do. And so I also try to bring some exclusive to you guys any way I can. So let's just jump right into it. The chat is open. And so look, let's make this a discussion. Let's talk about your questions. Let's bring out the theories, and I'll try to back them with actual facts. So I won't just come on here and do like a lot of other people you see where they just make stuff up. They kind of fill in their own blanks, like they're writing the story. But I'm trying to stick to the facts and use the facts to predict what's next. So episode 6 is called Scar Tissue. It comes out on October 27th, which is this Sunday. And it says Fatima and Ellis make a big decision about her pregnancy. What could it be? Boyd fears for the future of his family. Tensions rise in the Matthews house, which is no surprise. And Randall opens up about Marielle and his fears. So I want to put you guys up onto a little game real quick about one thing I noticed about from the pacing and sort of when we get crucial information that kind of moves the story forward. This is something that I found out. So, but before I do that, I want you guys to make sure you guys are subscribed and following my channel. It is here on YouTube. Please click that like button. Let's spam that like button. Hit the like button. It really helps. Make sure you guys are leaving the comments. I always appreciate going back and reviewing some of the comments and just talking about some of the things. And so I'm probably going to do my videos a little different. Meaning that I used to just do a 27-minute or 15-minute video going over everything, but it started to turn into like a review of pretty much everything that we watched. And so I really don't want to do that. I really want to make it like an exclusive and go over like certain things that you guys might not have known. But what I wanted to point out was the directors. So if you guys realize, episode 5 was called The Light of Day, and you can see on there that the director was Alexandria LaRoche. And even though there was some things in episode 6, some unforeseen things, it really just continued the story that we already knew. It didn't really push it forward. So if you go on the IMDb and you click on each episode, it'll tell you, just like you see here, director, writers. Now we know John Griffin is the creator, writer, and there's also, I believe his name is Jack Bender. So what I've realized is that any episode with Jack Bender is crucial for the story. And so I'm looking for any episodes directed by Jack Bender. That way I'll know that it's probably a crucial episode for the series. So let me give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. So Mousetrap, right, which I believe was like episode 3. That was a big episode from a lot of information. It pretty much changed the storyline. And look who was directed, Jack Bender. You go to the other episode that was big, There and Back Again, another big episode, 8.5 rating out of 10. Directed by Jack Bender. And so then we go until the finale, of course, episode 9, and then episode 10, who's it directed by? Jack Bender. Where, like I said, everything else that's just a regular story. It's kind of done by Alexander LaRoche. So that was just a cool fact that I found out. So we got some people in the chat chatting up. Thank you guys for joining. What's up, everybody? So the Grumble Door says Teacup is much better at balancing the drama and mystery. And I want to say that's one of the advantages of being being second or coming after. It's like if you guys seen 8 Mile, going first is always tough, always easy. It's always easier to go second and do the rebuttal. And so Teacup, I've heard is a good show. Miss T is in the stream. What's up, Miss T? We're definitely gonna spill some tea tonight. So thank you for joining. Stay tuned. I'm just doing like a small review right now. AKA Antidote. He survived the hurricane and he's come back in the chat. Appreciate the donation. Really appreciate it. Glad you're safe. I don't know how you spell pal wrong. Well, if you from Florida, I thought you might be Spanish. So pa and ma, just might be in your vocabulary, might be in your slang. But yeah, so Teacup, has the opportunity to come after from and do a lot of things right. So I mean, I'm glad that they are doing things right, because even though it seems like it would be easy and a no-brainer, it's not it's not the easiest thing to do. But Teacup is on my list. But what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably wait until from season 3 is done, and then I'll probably get into Teacup. I got some more interviews planned, and I'm some other stuff I got to do. So the Grumble Door also says, Honestly, slowly losing interest in the show, hence going the spoiler route. Too much dragging out. Yeah, and that's pretty much what everybody's been saying. Like, oh man, when are we getting information? But I like to say that we're getting a lot of information. I believe that is really up to the content creators to piece it together for everybody, and that's really what I'm trying to do. Right? I'm not trying to go in here and just discuss every scene that you guys already watched. I really want to give you guys some information and connect some strings and put this all together for you guys. And so that's really what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to use a combination of some of my older videos. I want to give a combination of, some of the new videos combined from like some of the behind the scenes content, and then combination of some of the other videos that are out there that will give you guys the answers you're looking for. But let's talk about it, Grumbledore. I mean, put some of your questions or thoughts on things that you want to know in the comments, and we can go through them, and I can spend time breaking it down. So, Lil Tony says, I have not heard anything that talks about Henry ever being in Fromville. Okay, so look, I think that's a good place to start, right? I mean, he hasn't been, right? This is his first time in Fromville. I believe that the reason why he only talks about Victor is because Victor is his son, whereas Eloise is not. And I know they don't talk about that. And I guess a lot of people are like, how is that possible? But man, I mean, I know so many people that have, two or three brothers, and they all got different fathers. I mean, it's common depending on where you're from. And so I think it's just something they put into the show that a lot of people might not know. So I think that Henry is Victor's dad. And I think that Christopher is Eloise's dad. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. And that's why Christopher was in Fromville with Eloise. I mean, that's that's the realest thing, you know. I mean, I hope that answers your question, and I hope that answers why he was only looking for Victor, because that's his son, whereas Eloise is not. You know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Teacup. If you're talking about Teacup, so Miss Joni says it's okay, not nearly as good as From. Yeah, I mean, From came on the scene like a tornado, man. Like, I mean, it was nothing like that. And we see this a lot of times where there's a whole bunch of other shows that kind of take parts of it. I mean, if you guys been to the movies and seen The Watchers is pretty much the movie version of From. And then, if you go to, like I said, Teacup, and then, I mean, you could even connect Wayward Pines being the first. Wayward Pines pretty much very different, but at the same time, not much different, but very similar. But I think From, the timing of it and the way they put it together, it was very much needed for what was going on TV. And kudos to them, because it started as just a web series. They were going to just put it on YouTube. Then it was like YouTube Red or something like that. Then that went out. Then they picked up Epix. Then Epix went out. And then it was MGM. And then it became MGM Plus. And then Amazon. Like, it just went through all these iterations and really grew its fan base. But I like to pat myself on the back. I was a fan from day one. I literally had Epix. Probably one of the only ones. And the day it came out, it was the first day I watched it and started doing reviews. I mean, you can go back almost a year and a half, 2 years of me doing From reviews with like 3 views. From is great. We get info all the time. Oh yeah, I mean, there's tons of info out there. I mean, from Facebook groups. I don't know if you guys are in the Facebook, from the Facebook groups, from the videos, from the social media on MGM as well. Yeah, I mean, this season we got tons of info. And the reason why I want to start doing more live is because, and you guys aren't going to believe this, we got all the info for all the answers. It's just spread out over 3 seasons. And so, I mean, I won't do like the show and drag it out. I'll kind of just summarize all the theories right now. the symbol is the trees. We've seen that multiple times. We've seen it in the flashbacks of Jade with the Civil War soldiers. The symbol was literally written on the tree, right? I mean, it can't get any more straightforward than that. And then when Jade was in the caves with the kids on the altar, he looked up and he saw what? The trees, right? I mean, and it was the trees in the form of the symbol. So, I mean, I think we know what the symbol is now. So we shouldn't be trying to figure out what the symbol is. The symbol is definitely the trees. And then from what the creatures are, I mean, obviously there's something controlling them. Obviously there's an entity out there that's listening, that's sending the creatures out, and they might even have some sort of shared consciousness, but they're not in control. And I think that when we've seen a lot of those drawings in the basement, I think some of those creatures were what's in control. And I might have some of the pictures that we can go over later. Let's see what else. Oh, so there's only one storyline, even though there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. The one storyline is to save the kids, right? I mean, that was the mission from the beginning. Save the kids, save the kids, save the kids. And so, I mean, Victor said it like 3 times. My mom, you know, she went to the bottle tree to free the kids. Something else about freeing the kids. I mean, that's what it's all about. So Brandy says, I just want to know why everything is yellow and blue. I think Victor's crayon is behind this mess. I mean, yeah, you know, I kind of pulled away from Victor's drawings just because there were so many of them and so many things didn't come true. Like I really wanted the flood. I really wanted to see more spiders. I really wanted to see all these things that just didn't come true. And I spent hours and hours trying to look at some of Victor's drawings and zooming in on stuff. And it just wasn't adding anything to the story. So I just pulled away from the drawings. But I think that's just an aesthetic that they're using to make the show look better. Honestly, Tabitha was sent to get Henry. I mean, yeah. I mean, the boy. I mean, if you watch the season finale when they pushed her out the lighthouse, what did the boy in white say? He said, "This is the only way." And then flip side, when season 3 started, Tabitha said when she was talking to, I believe, Jim, she said that she was sent there to see something. I mean, obviously, so she was sent there to see the paintings. She was sent there to see Henry, and then she was brought back. So the Grumble Door says, nah, I doubt that, though it's just bad writing. Like you have the scene where Henry was talking about his little girl and then doesn't ask for her, sees Victor, doesn't mention it to her. Yeah, I mean, we have to like kind of what I got on screen right now. You gotta see who's writing these episodes. Is every episode written by John Griffin and Bridget Hales? And then in reality, is it really just notes that John Griffin had 3 years ago? And is Bridget Hale the one that's adapting the story? And you're right, she could have made some mistakes or could not have been exactly how John Griffin set it up, but maybe how she interpreted it. So, AKA Antidote says, WB, the show lost. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're saying that, I don't know what WB means, but if you're saying that it's just pretty much another version of Lost, it could be. I don't think they're connected, but I mean, I think that they had a formula that worked on Lost, and they took that formula and made it into something a little bit differently, but somewhat of the same. They had an opportunity of leaving either Tabitha or Henry in the real world, where we get to unfold the mystery and decide to bring them back after 2 episodes with 0 answers and leads. Well, there's been a lot of posts lately where people have been saying that that there's a lot of answers are coming. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I've seen it a lot in the Facebook groups, and they keep saying that, this guy's saying that the answers are coming, the answers are coming. And so I'm guessing they just had more things to say, right? Like, we really didn't find out too much about Tabitha being in the real world, right? She didn't talk to nobody. She found Henry. She brought him back. and then now they're getting to the next part of the series, the story, which was the reuniting of Henry and Victor, and then Victor starts to remember stuff, and that's kind of where we're at now. Yeah, I mean, Miss T is right. Figuring out the answers is the fun part. I mean, been theorizing for like a year now, and it's still exciting. Every episode is exciting. Definitely levels to the monsters. Yeah, exactly. There's the creatures, right? We didn't know what they were. Then there's, we find out there's worms, there's cicadas, there's, what people like to say, the music box entity. Then there's the overall entity, and then we got pictures of some guy in yellow. Then we got some sort of, dark figure in the hallway. Then there's, something creeping around the cabins in the Lost Village. So there's tons of stuff going on that we don't know yet. And if you watch the behind the scenes episodes, and I might play one, they said a couple of things on the most recent behind the scenes clip. John Griffin himself, who usually doesn't talk and give much info, he said that now we're getting to the end of the beginning, right? I'm trying to make sure I say it exactly how he said it. He said season 3 is the end of the beginning. So it's really just moving into the middle. So there's like a whole nother layer that he's getting ready to pull out. And then Jack Pinkner said that multiple favorite characters will die. Right. So we got one favorite character death with Kenny's mom. We almost got a death with Randall. And so it looks like they're probably going to be one more death or two more deaths of our favorite characters. A lot of people think Fatima. I personally think it's going to be Fatima because don't really know what's up with the baby. Something's going on with her. If it is the baby, I think that there's going to be a decision where they either have to save the baby or save Fatima. And I think that Ellis is going to decide to save the baby. So, PM's in the building. What's up, everyone? What's up, PM? So let's see what else I want to show you guys. So this is the video I'm showing. So I'll just go through this while since it's up here. We got some crazy stuff going on. Like I said, the cabin. What is that? Yeah, what's outside the cabin is one of the things that I really want to know. I mean, this is the second time that something banged around outside the cabin while they were there. I mean, I just want to know what it is. I hope it's the spider. I would really like the spider to come back, but I don't really know what the budget is for CGI. There's not much CGI here. I see there's a big stunt budget, but not a big CGI budget. So I don't know if they're gonna, bring the spiders back or what they're actually gonna do. But we'll see. One of my theories is that there's something in the water. See, here it is. Yeah. So I want to know if there's something in the water. I do, once Tabitha went back to the real world, she sort of talked about, Henry brought it up that they were doing acid, and then Miranda started having all these visions, and then she started saying that she was chosen, and then she drew everything that we're seeing now, right? And so I want to know if there's something like that still going on, because every scene you see people drink water and then have a vision. Now, somebody was saying like there's kind of nothing else to do, and water is crucial for survival, right? And that is true. But if you look at the scene with Jade took like 2 big sips, and then he had 2 big visions, right? Jim, even back before we knew if the phone call was even a phone call or just in his mind, he had a sip of water. I think that there's a lot going on here that we don't know with certain things. I'm not really sure what's up with the kimono woman. I do not really see where she connects. She doesn't seem like the normal type of creature, so that makes me think that she's not fromville. I believe that Elgin was already possessed, if you will, by this thing before he came into Fromville. That's what I believe. We really don't know what she wants help with, but if you look at IMDb, she's listed to be in 3 episodes, and Scar Tissue, which is coming up this week. She will be in, so she'll be back again. So Miss T said at least people are talking to each other. Exactly. I mean, people are talking to each other, but the three most important people weren't at the meeting, right? Elgin wasn't at the meeting, Jade wasn't at the meeting, Sarah wasn't at the meeting, Victor wasn't at the meeting, and like the main people who have the majority of visions, who are the ones actually trying to escape, were not at the meeting. And so now I'm kind of splitting the groups up by people who want to escape and people who don't want to escape, right? And so by doing that, that lets me know who's lying, who could possibly be lying, and who could possibly be the mole. So Miss Johnny says, I really want to know what is outside those cabins, if it's human or not. Exactly, me too. Miss T says, I think we saw the lake of tears by the cabin, which is the body of water Elgin was looking for in his dream. Exactly. Kimono is giving hard trope of the ghost that needs help to be found and buried. Exactly. When I looked up ghost asking for help, it's exactly that. They wanted to be found. Yeah, I agree. It is kind of stereotypical of like some random ghost asking for help, oh, bury my bones. And that's originally what I thought was going on with the kids, right? I thought that the kids were some, or even the boy in white. The boy in white might have been killed, and his bones would have been needed to be buried. That's where I kind of thought the story was going. But the kimono woman has something to do with Fatima's baby. I don't know what, right? But I think I got some information that I'll bring up in a second that will help you guys sort of see that. Let's see what else we got here. Man, what did y'all think about Julie smoking? I think that was like totally random. I think I said before that Julie's storyline was always thin, right? And last season she didn't have really any role, right? Like she was really just walking around the village, overreacting to like every scene. And now they kind of gave her this stoner chick, neighborhood dope dealer type of vibes, right? Where she's running off on the plug, stealing Fatima and Ellis's stash, smoking and whatever she's doing with Elgin, like kind of like whatever. But I think she's gonna have a bigger purpose. But I wish they would get to it. I know she's a main character, but like let's just give her some main character energy. All right. So let's talk about the man of the hour, huh? I mean Dale, right? I mean, he finally got his moment, right? I mean, he wanted to step up. He wanted to show everybody that he could help, and he sure did that. I mean, we saw him for a second in the Lost Village, trying to boss everybody around in the way that only Dale can. And then we saw him, bam, smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. No, I agree. Drugs do play a huge role. So let me see. Let me go to the actually slide I was talking about before I get to these. So here we go. So these are some of the scenes these are the official release scenes from episode 6. Now I'll go back. I just wanted to here we go. Look, we see Julie again, right? So Julie's apparently going to be hanging out with Randall this episode, and look, she got some weed. So I'm mad that's her opening, right? Her Riz consists of a little smoke and chill. But yeah, Dale, I wanted to get to the Dale part, right? I mean, who said that going into the tree was a good idea, right? I mean, I think they laid it out pretty well. I mean, the townspeople, I understand they're not trying to follow Boyd anymore, but at the same time, they're not planning. Like I think they're not taking into consideration like how much Boyd or even Victor and these guys, even Jade plan. I mean, we seen Jade with a pen and paper in his hand, for probably like 6 episodes now, trying to figure this stuff out. And they're just like, oh, what? It's a tree. All right, point me to it. Point me to the direction. I mean, not even taking into consideration where the tree is, the bottles. They're not having any visions. And so Dale, what I'm saying, just comes and goes to the tree. So, AKA Antidote said, why didn't they tell him he won't go to the lighthouse? Tabitha kept on saying, no, 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 as always. Exactly. I mean, they're just frustrated. When people are frustrated, they don't listen. They push people out the way and think they know it all. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, Kenny tried to in the last scene before Dale stomped out. He said, it's not even the bottle tree, it's the lighthouse. And that just opened up a whole nother conversation because they're like, all right, they just, you would have had everybody lined up to jump out the lighthouse, and that's not the way out. But we've known, from behind the scenes footage and clips, like there's other things going on with the trees, right? This picture is a behind the scenes, that wasn't shown on the show, but when they had one of the release parties in the background, there was this picture, and it looked like, like some sort of wheel or color scheme, right? And somebody was saying something about the colors here in the chat. Let me go back real quick. Somebody was saying something about they want to know what was up with the blue and yellow. Let me see if I can find that comment. And I think this is a prime example, right? Here it is. Here it is. So Brandy said, I just want to know why everything is yellow and blue. And so it seems like you're right. I mean, he's got the whole Roy G. Biv here, but apparently yellow and blue are a part of where they go. And so if you're basing it on colors, if you enter with yellow, you'll go from this tree to another tree. If you enter on blue, but we don't know what that stands for technically. I mean, we saw Victor put the rock in the tree and pretty much show how random it was. So Bank Run saying that the color wheel is on the peach truck map, and so so Victor knew something was up with the tree, right? When he showed us, when he threw the rock in and it came up behind him. And I guess it kind of was breaking it down like, hey, if I go into this tree, there's no, identification where I would land at. So Miss T said the colors on the wheel remind me of what the boy in white was playing on at when Victor saw him. Exactly. I mean, this has been people have pointed it out in multiple scenes, from the Lost Village having a wheel. I believe in Tien Chen's house, above the kitchen table, there's another type of wheel above that. We've seen, just these type of circles and wheels all over the place that are connections. But who told Dale? Dale just made his own decision and ended up giving me Star Wars vibes. I mean, he definitely got he definitely got frozen in the carbonite. he definitely got stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I honestly thought that when Boyd went through the tree and came out, I really thought that he had it rough, but no, man, this guy had it rough. And I was saying at one point that of course I kind of think that it's the boy in white, but Dale kind of looks like the way his hands was, the way his face was. I mean, he kind of looked like this, right? I mean, it kind of looked like Dale for a second. So Miss T said, so there are 6 faraway trees. How many bottle trees are there? Well, I mean, I think there's 2 bottle trees in Fromville, right? And then 2 bottle trees in the real world, because there was one behind Henry's house, and then there was one that they were going to go to that they never got a chance to go to. And the reason why I said there was 2 bottle trees in Fromville is because when Boyd and Sarah were walking, they went past the bottle tree. But if you guys go back and watch that scene, it doesn't have the hole in the middle. And then if you go back to the scene with the group, there's this bottle tree with bigger hole in the middle. So there's definitely at least 2 bottle trees, but only one. I want to say this again. One is only connected to the kids, and I believe it's this one. man, they made an example. I mean, the reason why they put him, I mean, I guess they could have put him anywhere, right? But they put him somewhere where everybody could see him, right? I mean, they know that everybody goes to the pool to sort of hang out, talk, whether it's privately or with one other person. And so they put him pretty much in the town hall. So, Robert G, welcome to the stream. He said he did. He served his purpose to teach others not to act too quickly. It could end up being a bad thing as it was for him. Exactly. Speaking of wheels, Richard Ford said, speaking of wheels, the boy in white is always spinning on the Ferris wheel. Exactly. So to be honest, we only see it in the trailer. Yeah. It didn't do yeah, I thought he was going to drop from the sky too. Yeah, you're right. They don't really show the boy in white that much, and we haven't seen him that much. And some people hear him, but they don't see him, or they only see him in an emergency situation. Like it seems like in any extreme situation, like when the creatures invade the colony house. The boy in white's talking to Victor to over here, get in a tree here, or when Boyd and Sarah were in the forest and it was raining, and Boyd was kind of his health was failing. He kind of popped up and was like, hey, in here. So he's always helping last minute. And I think we're going to get some answers as far as why he doesn't help like that no more. Let's see what else we got going on here. So yeah, I mean, these, like I said, these are episode 6 official released photos, promo photos. So we got Donna and Tabitha, and it looks like Donna's on cleanup duty for her first mate. And so it looks like she's in the pool, and I'm guessing they can't get him out the wall. So it looks like she just got some rocks and she's about to cover him up. So Miss T says the boy in white and dogs only show up occasionally when needed. Exactly. John Sanders says, I just hit my Mike Tyson G pen and I'm already in Fromville. For real, grapefruit keef, and moon rocks. Jesus. Yeah, that definitely sounds like whatever Miranda was smoking, he got some. And so it looks like, like I said, they're over by the pool. Donna's got some sort of wheelbarrow, and looks like she's the one who's going to bury Dale. Then we got some other pictures here. So it looks like Jade gets, I guess that could be the notes from the bottles, and looks like he's trying to put them together. See, like I said, the villagers are not, the townspeople, either the town or the colony house, are not taking into consideration how much time people are really trying to figure this out. And Jade is one of them. I mean, I can't zoom in, but it looks like he's got a Scantron, right? I mean, no, exactly. Ethan has the answers, right? I mean, but here's the problem, Ethan. And we were joking about it. And the other guy who's in the chat, Christopher, I mean, Ethan's kind of an idiot. And I hate to say it, but Ethan, sometimes Ethan is a little out there, but you're right. He definitely has the answers. And oh, look, here we go. I mean, look, the two people who need to talk. So you said that, you're right. There are more people are talking, and looks like they're letting Ethan help, right? So that was a good call. And I mean, this is it. I mean, this is the main storyline. I mean, this must lead to how they can free the kids. I mean, we know what's in the bottles already, right? We saw them pull one down, and I believe it said, was it 1637 or 1837 or something like that? So it kind of seemed like years, but it could be something else. I don't know what else it could be. Someone was saying coordinates before. I don't know. I really think it's coordinates, but it has to be something that they can use. And it looks like he's putting them all together. So I wanted to go back to the beginning here and just go over some other pictures. But yeah, Boyd was like, man, what was I supposed to do? I mean, they really put Dale in a spot where everybody could see him, and especially for Boyd, right, where Boyd could, use that to his advantage as far as, who's next, right? I think that was like the perfect line. And so I mean, you guys were talking about the writing, and sometimes it's bad. I think it's a little. It's some of the actors, but I think it's written well. I think it's just the interpretation or how it comes out on film from how it's written on paper. But this was one moment they executed really, really good. I mean, the who's next line was classic. Yeah, I just wanted to show this scene here. I mean, this is the boy in white, popping up out of nowhere and pointing to the tree. So I mean, you can't go in the tree without the boy in white. I mean, you can't. And I mean, a couple of things here in this scene. For one, he was physically getting wet, so it wasn't like he wasn't there. So for some reason, he is there in that actual space or plane. Then the second one, he wasn't talking, right? His lips really weren't moving. I'm trying to pause it on that exact spot, right? His lips weren't moving, but we heard him say over here, over there, right? But he wasn't talking. So then game is really on like Donkey Kong. Oh, I feel like this place has broken down. Yeah, I agree. I mean, her and Fatima were really close, and she had that flashback of Fatima's 1 year anniversary, and fast forward to all the stuff that's going on now with her. I mean, I'm sure she feels bad, and then even Nikki, the woman who pretty much got shot through the window, and I mean, she's lost so many people in the colony house. I mean, she's lost more people than anybody combined. I mean, Boyd really only lost. Well, he lost Father Kotri, which was the biggest one. He lost the family in the first episode, so that's, let's say, three. He lost Reggie and his girlfriend. That's five. He lost Tien Chen, six. I mean, now think about it, he lost a lot. But he lost a lot of main characters or people they gave stories to. But Donna lost like 14 people in one night. Then he lost somebody else. So I mean, he lost a lot. At first I thought Donna was the witch, then I thought Donna was the mole, but I only thought Donna was the mole because she was one of the first people in town, and nobody could confirm how she got there. Right? If she came with her sister, where's the car? If her sister was there, where did they bury the body? Right? Like, there's all these missing pieces that we haven't seen from her. But while we're on the topic of Donna, let me see if I can go back. While we're on the topic of Donna did a Q&A on Instagram Live today, right? And so let's see. She actually covered some good things. So let's sort of talk about them. So somebody asked her here, is Fatima an imposter or a human? So let's see what she had to say. This is kind of long though.
Both Donna and Liz she is human. I just think if she was a monster, she would have done something by now. But you never know.
We'll see. The only thing I see the problem with the cast, right, is that they don't really know what goes on past the episodes that's out. And so she's sitting there saying that she would have done something. But there's three perspectives, right? There's a perspective that the audience sees that other characters on the show doesn't. So she wasn't there when Fatima ate the woman. I mean, the Fatima is talking about if she was a creature, she would have done something. She's eating raw food, and she pretty much ate the woman, right? So she is doing something. So I think she just got that one wrong.
No, they'll do you. Good. Hey, Diamond Minx. That's a great question about the motel. Is the motel a key detail to what's happening in Fromville? I think that's a fantastic question because I don't know the answer to that. And I wonder the same thing. Where has that motel gone? And why is it gone?
Yeah, so
I'd invite him in real life.
yeah, so I mean, I think that the motel is just a red herring, right? It's just the element to keep people distracted from what's really going on. So let's see. So somebody else made a comment about Elizabeth Sanders and Here it is. Robert G. Robert G said they are married in real life. Yeah, I mean, she pretty much talked about it here. See if I can go back a little bit.
And why is it gone? Is doing in real life, and I can tell you he's doing really great. I'd invite him in right now, but I'm out of town and he's back in Toronto. So, Avon Gork, thanks for your kind words, first of all.
So this was a key question right here. I mean, so the actors don't know, that's why they're allowed to do this Q&A. Yeah, exactly. Here's a good thing. Bank Run says, what if Donna killed her sister in a hunting accident, is trying to hide that? Exactly. We can't verify her sister was even there. We can't verify when she got there because she was pretty much first. I think it went like her, then it went Dale, then went Father Kotri. Now, of course, Victor is the oldest resident, but I don't know where Victor was or how even Victor and Donna met and how Victor even came to stay in the colony house. We don't know. One of the early theories I had was that Donna was Victor's sister. That's what my early theory was, but I don't know. Now that we've got all this new evidence and everything's pointing towards Tabitha, that Tabitha could possibly be, Victor's sister. But Donna and Victor have to have some type of relationship that we don't know yet, that they have to reveal how they got close, or what does Victor know about Donna, and what is her last name, right? Because remember, when Tabitha was in the real world, she was looking up people on the computer with Henry. She did mention Donna, but she said, "Oh wow, I didn't realize I don't know Donna's last name, so we don't know nothing about her."
Second of all,
but here's the question. So the question is, who was on the radio at the end of season 1? So let's hear what she has to say.
Who do I think was on the other end of the line talking to Jim on the radio in season 1? I don't know exactly. Well, I don't know at all, but I think it's an entity or entities that's all wrapped in with the monsters, is able to read our minds and hearts and knows exactly how to pull us and trigger us by creating a moment that causes an action that will cause us to do something that will move us towards an outcome that they believe need to happen. That's what I think.
So this is my second time watching that and hearing her say that. So she pretty much says she thinks it's an entity that, causes them to do, that does something that causes a reaction from them. And what I think she's getting at there, but not saying it, is that to free the children, right? That's what this whole entity thing is. The whole point of the show is freeing the children. And so everything they're trying to do without telling them is pointing them towards freeing the children. So David says, From is retelling the story of the sun, the solar cycle. We begin in Aries, saved by Lam Rand. Now we have the winter solstice, dying on a cross, wounded beast, death, rebirth, and of the sun. Wow, David, that's pretty deep. I mean, I'm all for the deep theories, especially in the deep dives, but I'm trying to be more realistic on the facts. And we just haven't seen enough facts to go with anything. But I'm all for the deep theories and the far out theories. I mean, it's really just about the kids, man. It's really that the kids were killed, they were sacrificed, and then they, I don't know, encouied their way to the trees. The trees are the faraway trees, and they're trying to, like she kind of just said, influence the people without influencing them to figure out how to free the kids. That's what they're doing, but they're not telling them. And so the boy in white pops up every once in a while, like as a game save or extra life to help them. But he's not talking to them every day.
Hi, Ashley, who asked, do I think I will ever get to go home? In my heart of hearts, I do not think Donna will ever make it home.
So obviously season 1 is, season 3 has ended, right? I mean, if wherever she's at, she's done shooting season 3. She shot all her scenes. And so she knows whether or not her character is alive or dead. And so if she's saying that, she's trying not to give too many clues, and she's trying to give a personal opinion, but she knows that her character is still alive at the end of season 3. But I guess she's answering more so for the seasons to come, meaning will she survive? And she doesn't think Donna will survive. I believe that when season 4 comes out, season 4 is going to be more based on like sacrifice, right? My ultimate theory is that Boyd will die, and Boyd will die trying to save somebody. All right, that's just his character. I think that when we talk about Boyd, we're talking about a different type of person. We're talking about the person who, first of all, armed forces, tours in Iraq, shot his wife in the face point blank without hesitating, sat there and watched Kenny's mom get peeled like a banana all night, didn't lose a wink of sleep, and is not really psychologically damaged, right? And so Boyd is going to break eventually, because that's what this whole thing is about. And he's going to break through them breaking Kenny, right? I mean, they're obviously targeting Kenny, killed his dad, killed his mom. I mean, that seems like a target. And so I think what's going to happen with Boyd is that, I hate to say it, Kenny's going to either get killed or hurt really bad, and Boyd's going to either try to save him or do something. I mean, we've seen him do it over and over again. He saved the 3 in the that were from last season. He saved those 3, and he's going to save these 3. Well, not these 3, but he's going to do it again. Somebody else is going to get captured, held up, hurt, and he's going to do what? He's going to save him. But he just might not make it out. So let's see. What else did she say?
I think it's going to take a long time for Donna to lose her mind. I think she'll crack a lot, but I think that woman just keeps coming back. I think she's got a really strong will and a really strong spirit. I'm slightly biased, but that's my answer.
Yeah, so I think Miss T said that, right? About Donna breaking, right? And so she just kind of gave an answer what she thinks. I mean, we've seen Donna break in the last episode. She kind of had that moment with Boyd where she had that tough exterior, like upstairs now. And then as soon as she gets upstairs, she's all sobbing and crying or whatever, to the point where it seemed fake. But then 5 minutes later, they're drinking, So, I mean, I think it comes in waves for her. I think behind closed doors, she breaks down, but she'll remain strong in front of everybody. I mean, Randall pretty much had her tied to a tree, just like a witch, I might add, and she really wasn't even phased on that. So David's got some other theories here. He said, if you look at the talisman, the symbol in the middle, the cycle, east and west balancing arms, equinox, top blazing sun, summer solstice, and bottom setting sun. Okay, I like that. The snow globe also relates to North creation mythology. Oh yes, my original theory. I mean, as big of a part that the talismans play, it has to be something based on the North mythology. It has to be. There's been no explanation about the talisman. The only information we got was the first behind the scenes footage from John Griffin, where he said the talismans mean something. The town residents just don't know what yet. And I've been saying that pretty much for 3 seasons now, and we still don't have any idea what the talismans do or what they stand for. And so, I mean, I appreciate you breaking it down. We can see that one side is the sun, one side seems to be the moon, possibly. We've seen these similarities in Father Khatri on his shawl. One side is sun, other side is the night. So we know that there is something going on with kind of like what you're saying, blazing sun, summer solstice, or setting sun. Yeah, he said the answers are all in ancient astrology. I do believe there's some form of witchcraft going on, but we haven't really seen any type of witch yet. So let's see, what else was there? They did a cool breakdown of Dale transforming into, his carbonite.
Biased, but that's my answer.
The making of Dale's demise. Man, he kind of laid it on thick, didn't he?
Am I a mole? Do I look like a mole?
Oh, look, that was literally the question that you asked, Miss T. Let me see. Let me go back. Is Donna the mole? Is Donna the mole? Did you ask this one? Let's hear what she says.
A mole. Do I look like a mole? No, I don't think Donna's a mole.
She said, I don't think. Man, these guys were detailed on this Dale in the wall. I mean, see, and this is what I was trying to figure out. Like, was the wall in his body, or was it just compressing him? But it looks like when you look at it closer, it looked like that he became the wall, right? Like it's part of it in his skin, it's in his mouth. So yeah, man. I mean, he was definitely dug in. The talismans are useless. They are meant to keep people in their homes like sitting ducks so the monsters don't have to look for them. Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I kind of am losing faith that the talismans actually do anything. I don't think they're really doing much. So let's see. But this is kind of long, so um, you guys can watch this on my page. I just reposted it on my YouTube. Let's get back to some of the pictures though. But I just wanted to show that part about Donna and go over, some of the things that she was talking about. But it's pretty good as far as her, answering real questions, and that's something that I've tried to find it to do, like find real questions to ask these people to try, even though we don't get answers from them, like put the questions out there so we can, start having these conversations. So, like I said, these are the official photos. We know there's a lot going on with Elgin. We know that he has a camera. They have the camera now. They're taking some pictures, and he's starting to see things in the pictures. And one of the things that he sees is Fatima and the kimono woman. And so, I mean, this just pretty much proves that Fatima and the kimono woman are not the same person. I mean, we couldn't make that deduction until we see them in the same room together. And here it is. So I don't know how this came about. I guess he was pretty much taking pictures around the house, maybe of people. I think in the last episode we saw Fatima and we saw Elgin and Julie hanging out in the basement. They found some old chest, and in there was a camera. And so that's where he got the pictures from. But Elgin, like I said, Elgin's having a tough time, man. I mean, I think he's possessed when he came on the bus. I think that he brought this into Frumville with him, right? Whatever this thing is. And I think that it is, working on pretty much causing him to do something. I don't know what it is they want him to do or help him with. I mean, that's one thing that she said, was help me. So we don't know what it is that the kimono woman wants help with, but she was asking for help. So yeah, we don't know. So I mean, we still got to try to figure that out. What she actually wanted help with. What do you guys think? What do you think it was that the kimono woman wants help with? Well, I mean, she like I said, if she's not from here, then pretty much what could he help her with if she's not from Fromville, right? I feel like the creatures are from Fromville, and they can figure out, how to help them. But how does this woman need help? So then we get some more promo shots. I mean, we knew that Victor and Henry were headed towards to get Jasper, right? I mean, Victor went to go see Sarah. He brought up some memories. He dug up the suitcase, had all these memories, sort of led him to Christopher. Christopher led him to realizing that he was the one who told his mom that he heard Christopher and Jasper talking. Now, I want to know how. Well, Jasper's obviously a real object, right? But it's not a real object as far as a real person. He's not a real boy. He's not a real boy, so he can't talk. So how can he have heard Jasper and Christopher talking? Unless Christopher was doing both, playing both roles, right? He was being himself and answering himself as Jasper, because the voice is a vision. And so he heard them talking, or him talking to himself, went back and talked to his mom about, oh, I heard Jasper tell Christopher that the children are in the bottle tree. And that's how you free them. And so that's how his mom went to the bottle tree, and he remembered that. So he felt guilty. So he's going back. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to go back and talk to grab Jasper, and pretty much get Jasper to talk. I don't know how he's going to get him to talk. But I mean, I think this is crazy, right? I mean, if you look at this picture, they're obviously in the cave. And the cave is decorated like a house, right? You've got a table, you got some chairs, you've got a table set. I'm trying to look and see what's on the table. It looks like you got a plant, you've got some mugs, some plates. That must be his light. And a couple of the things I can't see. You've got decorations, you've got trunks, you've got the Rumbledore said that monster's got a break room. They got a vending machine over in the corner, right? They got some lockers, right? They got a punch in, punch out, time clock. That's hilarious. Yeah, I really can't see that well what that painting is. It looks like a original Van Gogh. It could be like Edward Degas. It could be a Basquiat. I don't know what it is, right? But it could be a Banksy. They shows a little class. Yeah, right. Jasper was having tea. No, you're so right. Did you see? I don't think I showed you guys a picture of Jasper. Man, Jasper was chilling. Look, Jasper was chilling. Jasper was chilling. Jasper was chilling down there, man, sitting in the big chair. And that's one thing I've noticed about the scenes with Jasper, right? When Jasper's in a scene with two or more people, he's always sitting in the big chair, right? I mean, and it shows that, he's in charge, right? And so it could be, Jasper is the one in charge. So I don't really know what's going on here, guys. Like I said, these are all some of the promo photos, the official released promos. So these are able to be shared, and looks like they got something going on. But whatever they got going on, they make it out. Victor gets Jasper back to base number 2, the Peach truck. And it looks like they have a conversation with Jasper. Now I don't know what he would tell them, but he told him something. Oh, and then who was talking about the crayons? I think Miss T was talking about the crayons. So we know he's got 160 crayons. We see it right here on his little desk. A couple other things as well. And so, but maybe he lost all the crayons and only had the blue and yellow. So Miss T was asking earlier, why is everything blue and yellow? But that could be all the crayons that he had. Was he really just could have had blue and yellow? So there's something's going on with Ellis, of course, and Fatima. So Miss T says they have a lot of supplies and things they don't use underground in that basement. Yeah, it seems like somebody built it to look like something. But this what I was thinking about the cave, right? Remember when like Boyd, actually, let me go back. Let me give a better example. If you guys remember, where is it at? All right, here we go. Boyd and his family came to town. So if you remember this, right? When Boyd and his family coming to town, Father Kadri pops out, and they were all hiding underground. So the people, so here they go underground, and they're with Liz, Dale, and Father Kadri. And so going back to this, right? I think that, see if I can find a good spot. This might be going. So going back to them hiding underground, right? I think that the people in the town used to hide underground. And I think the people brought all these things down there. But then later the monsters found out where they were. Because remember, it's a game of hide and seek, right? And so what's the best hiding spot? Underground. They were already hiding underground. So the best place to hide was underground. So I think the people or some other people brought all these things down there and were hiding down there. And then the creatures found them and they never got out. Possibly. But other than that, I don't know why the creatures would have all that stuff down there. Unless Jasper just a fancy dude and he wanted all that crate and barrel furniture down there. That's all. All right. So we got Fatima or Fatima. Well, I think it's called Fatima. I know somebody else named Fatima. That's why I keep calling Fatima. But I think there's a lot going on with her. But I don't see no bump. I mean, of course her stomach's always covered, but I don't see a bump at all. Man, that's a good call out, PM. Well, there's something going on here, right? I mean, this scene, I guess you're talking about this, right? Yeah. I mean, there's obviously something going on. There's obviously something going on with this. And he's flipping out, it looks like. I mean, they're both looking at something, right? And then here he's kind of flipping out, like, could Eloise be living down there, right? Eloise bones are pinned to the wall down there. I mean, I would think so. I would think that could be a possibility, but then they wouldn't leave, right? So here they obviously got back to the peach truck. And so they wouldn't have left her if she was there or if something of hers was there. Whatever, I think what's next to him is what he was holding here. I can't really tell the colors, but it looks like in the chair behind Henry is whatever this was. So PM says she's in the first trimester. So there would be no bump. And now I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it at all. I'm not buying it at all. I'm not buying the first trimester, no bump. Not at all. And I feel like even for the show, like they would have a bump. She would have a bump. So no bump. And so I think I told you I did a video on my page where I was pretty much explaining that Fatima is a Wendigo, right? I think that's what I was getting at before. And so I don't know if you guys have seen this video, or it's on my page if you guys want to see that. But yeah, so I believe that she's not pregnant and that she's just turning into a creature. But not like the creatures that's coming out in the town. I think she's turning it into something different. So I don't think she's pregnant at all. I don't, because I mean, we saw her by the toilet. We actually didn't see her throw up, right? She just sick, unless she threw up. I got to go back and watch it, but I don't think I saw her throw up. I thought I saw her sitting by the toilet. We saw her teeth falling out, but once I saw her teeth falling out, I knew that just wasn't malnutrition. I knew that was something else, because I mean, if you guys watch these other movies, antlers and all that stuff. Um, and so I put this on my slide as well. Second trimester, they eat about 340 extra calories. Third trimester, about 458 calories. She would have had a bump. And I mean, they don't, who knows when she got pregnant. And I don't think there would be able to calculate it that easily, right? I think she would have been not known the whole time where she wasn't showing. She would not have known she was pregnant. And then by the time they find out, she would have, to me, she would have been in like third or fourth trimester. She would have been huge. Well, almost a huge, but she would have been showing. I'll put it like that. If you watch these movies, it's pretty much similar to what Fatima's going through. More so Antlers, not Ritual, but Antlers. Ritual is a good example from because it has to do with the Jotun, or however you pronounce it, which is from the North mythology, and it actually was it needed to be worshipped, right? Whatever the Jotun was had to be worshipped, and it kept people in the village in this forest alive for a long time. And that's kind of what I thought was going on with Fromville after watching The Ritual. So if you guys haven't seen The Ritual, it's definitely a good reference. So I'll bring Fatima back up. Yeah. So then it goes to Randall. I mean, Randall's scarred for life. And why so serious, Randall? But he's back to his old tricks. Him and Julie. I guess she's got some pain meds for him, and smoking a quarter ounce. So Black Run asked the question of mucus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of people were getting into the colors about the blues and yellows, and when Smiley died, and we saw the yellow, and but I mean, I think that what the story does, they introduce red herrings and then they debunk them, right? Because Boyd tried to put the mucus in the bullets, and it didn't do nothing. So I think it was a dead end at that point. Now, if he put it in the bullets and they exploded, okay, we got something, but I don't think they're even going down that pathway. So these are the scenes from the pool. Like I said, well, we know Dale was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He was frozen in carbonite. And then looks like Donna's the one that comes behind it and buries him, so to speak. Then we got Jade, who's working on the real mystery, which is figuring out what's in those bottles in the bottle tree. And he's working with everybody. He's spending pretty much all his time figuring it out. Then we got him working with the man with the answers, Ethan. And then we got him and Tabitha. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel weird about their relationship, meaning Tabitha and Jade. I feel like it's not, of course, they're not flirting or not like that, but I feel like, man, if I was Jim, I'd be a little bit upset about them hanging out. And I think he is, right? I mean, I think we saw him try to keep Jade away from her, but the way he's going about it, it just isn't good. And one thing I saw from the last episode was, when did he go to the bottle tree, right? Jade was kind of saying like, not Jade, Jim was, when Jade was asking about, what did she see? What did she know? And Jim was kind of like, oh yeah, I went to the bottle tree. There's nothing there. He's like, kind of telling them like there's a whole lot there actually. And Jim said he went to the bottle tree and pulled some bottles down, right? So that's where they got these from. These were from what Jim pulled down. Now we've seen Boyd pull down one of the bottles. He pulled one. So what I want to know is, because I think Jim might be the mole, how did Jim know to pull that many? I mean, I guess Jay could have went back off camera, but I'm a little bit upset about so many things happening off camera. I'm guessing Jim went to the tree off camera, or he's lying. I think he's lying. But then I know Jade possibly went back to the tree and got all the bottles. But I wish they would just show that, right? Like, because it could add some of that information. PM says she likes them together, and yes, since we're going through a divorce, I think Jim feels uncomfortable having Jade around. Exactly. I mean, what if I don't even want to speculate what if, right? But what if, Jade and Tabitha get together in some sort of way? I mean, I can just feel it. I kind of felt it in, was it season 2? But maybe that's just her acting style. She just must have he get the Rick Grimes arc. Those are my kids. That's my kid. Man, let me get me started on that. But look how she look at him though, right? I mean, come on. It's in the eyes. Let me tell you, it's in the eyes. So Miss T says if Jade is Christopher and Christopher Miranda were together, I could see it. Wow. If Jade is Christopher, right? Well, he is seeing Christopher. And is Tabitha seeing Miranda though? I don't know if Tabitha's seeing Miranda. I think she's seen the kids, right? But I don't think I seen her see Miranda. Yeah, but a lot of stuff happening off camera. Oh, and this is the scene I was looking for. Man, how weird was Jim acting, right? How weird was Jim acting in this whole scene when Tabitha was finally telling her family what happened? And I think Julie had a key moment where she finally asked a good question. She said, "How did you get from a lighthouse in the woods to a hospital in Maine?" Right? I mean, that was a real question. And she just kept, of course, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I think that was probably the realest question that she ever asked. Oh, okay, so Miss T said Tabitha and Miranda shared the bracelet and the song, and they're on the same quest. What song? Real quick, what song? I feel like I should know this. I feel like I should know what song you're talking about. All right, I'm trying to think what song. What song is it? Man, they shared a song. I don't think I heard a song. I know it's a bracelet. I'm trying to think what song. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely on the same quest. Oh, okay, okay, okay. And that's what I was thinking about. That I can't remember what song it was though. If anybody knows what song that was that played, I might have to go back and look at that. They playing in Henry. Oh yeah, their wedding song. Yeah, what song was that? I gotta find out specifically what song was that. But you know what, guys, man, I had a couple of theories before. I'm not gonna um I'm not gonna get play the whole thing, but I did two videos on my YouTube channel that I think really aged well, right? And so that's the jukebox and the bell, right? Those were two of my favorite videos I did. I did a deep dive. I did a deep dive on the jukebox, right? And I did a deep dive on the songs, just that we were hearing in the diner. So if you guys are saying that there's other songs out there that they heard, I gotta look back because I like to keep track of those. Um, because I was already sold that this place has something to do with frequencies, right? I mean, when Victor showed the car graveyard and it kind of showed that every person that entered Fromville entered in a car, right? Nobody just walked up. I believed that it had to do something with sound, right? I from the beginning. I mean, especially with like following the show, going to the web pages, everything was really about the bell in the first season, right? And I started looking at the bell, trying to figure out that there's probably something with the bell, and so I did a video on the bell. And there's connections and ties to it, but I think that this stuff has to do with frequencies and sonic resonance and psychoacoustics and all that stuff. And that leads to them seeing things that's not really there, hearing things that's not really there. And then also, I was a big theorist of the witches. There's a witch around. That's who we thought was the kimono lady, and witches do use bells, right? And so, I mean, there's tons of stuff that we can get into. If you guys want to watch that video, it's on my page. But I do think that it's going to boil down to two things. I think it's going to boil down to either the music, or it's going to boil down to some type of frequency from the bells. So yeah, I think that I think that's where all this is going. I don't know how that's going to free the children, right? But it has to. It has to be, what they use to free the children, possibly. All this talk about songs. I mean, we hear, the music plays a big role in the show from the intro. Then we also know the music that we hear in the diner, and then seeing Jade with the violin, and then now we're talking about the song in the car. And so I'm guessing that I'll just go ahead and say it. The way to free the children is a song. I'm pretty sure that's where all this is going, right? The jukebox has been playing since season one. And so pretty sure it has something to do with some sort of song. And I actually want to go back now and find out what that song was that Jade was playing on the violin in the car graveyard. I can't remember. I think he said it was something his grandmother used to play or something he used to play, but I really would like to find out, what that song was and what the meaning of that song is. Because everything has a meaning, from the clothes they wear to the way things are shot and the information they give us. So David has another theory. He says the number, which is 2659, which was in one of the bottles they found on the tree, holds important significance in astrology. It means you're on the right path, guided by the spirit realm and headed to transformation. Wow. So are you saying that, PM, are you saying that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was the song that he played, that Jay played? I remember it being something different though, but I believe you. It was the song Miranda would sing to Victor when he was scared. Yeah. Twinkle stars because all the answers are in the stars. Star magic, right? I mean, that goes even further to the star magic. Yeah, I mean, I believe that, but see, like I said, David, though, what you're doing is a deep theory, and I mean, you're probably like 2 seasons out, right? You're season 5 and 6 right now, because like I said, John Griffin said the season 3 is the end of the beginning. And so then that means they're going to be season 4, and then there's going to be season 5. And so that's probably when they're going to tie in the hotel, the star magic, and we might find out that there's aliens involved, but not aliens the answer. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that could possibly be it. And I swear it has something to do with the brainwave frequencies, which is the way they were able to direct the cars. And, I think that ties into a lot, even with Jade, right? Because one of the things I found was Jade wasn't driving and Toby wasn't driving either. They were both in the Sigrid car, right? If you look at the map inside of the post office, which is Boyd's police station, on the map by where Jade and them were going, which was Florida, you see Jade's name, and then underneath it you see Sigrid car. And so the car was a self-driving car, a computer car. And I'm guessing that it has something to do with wavelengths, and that's exactly how it got there. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking is going on with this. All right, let's see. So yeah, to me in this scene, Jim was acting extremely funny. He was weird. I mean, maybe I just don't like the way he was pouring the tea. I don't know. I think it was weird how he's pouring the tea all of a sudden. Like he's trying to be extra nice. Like I understand she just came back, but at the same time, just if you're gonna pour the tea, just pour the tea. Notice how free the children was only told to mothers. It was a lie the big bad tells to lure women with children to Frumville. They need the children for ritual open the portal. Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, apparently they need them for something, right? But we don't know. But yeah, they were 100% lured there. They were misled, and I think because that's the type of stuff that causes the bad blood, right? When somebody dies or a whole group dies and they wasn't supposed to die. He has some sort of tech company that he sold, right? But I believe that he has some other things going on, and I think that edgy. He's trying to be edgy and futuristic, so he probably like how everybody was using Uber. At the beginning, swore they knew something about tech, and I believe he was just using the secret car to be is what people do. Yes, he's nurturing, and that T-Poor seemed dishonest. Exactly, the T-Poor. Yo, I hate this T-Poor. I swear, I hate this T-Poor. Let's see. Yeah. So here's something else that somebody noticed on Facebook. And so just something I noticed season 1, episode 1, Sarah kisses Toby and says, "None of this is your fault." Season 3, episode 1, Julie walks over to Sarah and says, "I don't want to turn into you." Tells Jim, "None of this is your fault." I mean, this was an interesting thing, but there's parallels all through the season, the story. And, people write good scripts and good stories. They connect things. That's all. And parallel character storylines and all that stuff. Let's see. So this. Sorry, it's small, but it's from Facebook. But people were talking about the Desert Chronicle webpage that's actually still up, and Rendezvous or Rendezvous, a moving service. And there's been a lot of references of that. There's been references we've seen with Boyd in his trailer. We've seen references in the police office. There's a calendar or something like that. There's a card. And so we've seen this multiple times as an Easter egg in the background. So trying to figure out what that means, we don't know. But one thing I do want to know is what is in the trailer. I mean, Boyd never even went back to get his stuff. Like after wherever he parked his car, wherever he put that, he didn't even like go back to get the stuff that was in there. Yeah, Donna has a calendar in her room, and so yeah, so we don't know. There's a connection here with this, but we don't know what it is. But then on the web page, there's a Chronicle page that Tabitha was looking up with Henry in his house. There was an ad for the rendezvous moves, is whatever it's called. So I think that's pretty much it for some of the promo images. I really wanted to just come on here and talk. My next video is going to be a deep dive on the town hall. I feel like there were some things that went on during the town hall that kind of give people away as far as who was lying and also who was acting weird. I mean, a lot of people were saying that Fatima was acting really aggressive, really weird. And I point that out because she's right now 3 for 3 as far as becoming a creature. The definitions, let me see if I go back. If I go back to my other video, the definitions of becoming a Wendigo is aggression. Let me see. Let's see if I have it up here. Yeah, it's up here. So it's here it is. So it's, let me make it bigger. So then it's, I don't know if you guys can see that. So it says how a person becomes one. In some legends, humans can turn into Wendigos through greed, cannibalism, possession. Let's see. There's also another part too. It says that it's a Wendigo is associated with winter and a cannibalistic monster from the spiritual traditions. A fearsome beast that stalks and eats humans. A spirit that possesses humans, causing them to turn into cannibals. A vengeful spirit that punishes those who break the laws of nature. I mean, she's she's 4. But there was also something that talked about aggression, right? I mean, it was talking about how they become aggressive as well. And I feel like that's what she was doing in that scene, right? I feel like she was being very aggressive towards Fatima, and that Fatima was being aggressive towards Tabitha all of a sudden. And then at the same time, it was Donna. I think Donna had something going on. Donna was acting a little bit funny because in the one scene I'm talking about was when Bacta asked Henry, "Where were you and Tabitha going when you had the accident?" And he started to explain, and Donna just cut him off like boom, boom, boom. And when she cut him off, I was like, man, he was just getting ready to talk about the second bottle tree. And I think that would have been a big, like kind of eye-opening moment. And she kind of cut him off, like she heard where that conversation was going and didn't want him to continue. So let's see. Shaquille Robinson says, this part with Julie I don't like because she knows more, but she's insane. If all you hear is screaming, why are you concerned? You're going to turn to Sarah unless you heard something else. Yeah, I think they're all having some sort of residual effects, right? Because Randall continues to see the cicadas. Then now Julie kind of keeps hearing screams from the place, and Mary. But I haven't seen anything going on with Mary. She seems to be the only one that's really not that affected. So let's see where I'm trying to think what episode was when they were in the basement. Was that 3? I think that might have been 3 when they went through the basement, when all the pictures from the basement. I think that was either 2 or 3. Let me see if I can go back to find those pictures. I think there was actually so many of those pictures. I don't think I really went into deep in those pictures. But let me see if I can find one because there's something else I wanted to talk about in the pictures. Let's see, what episode was that? Yeah, I don't think I got a breakdown of the pictures. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna bring up something else. So Facebook, there's been a lot of information on Facebook groups as well. So if you guys haven't joined the MGM Facebook group,
maybe it wasn't a worm.
But I think you guys should. So here's a clip. Apparently this was released on comicbookmovie.com, but this is a clip from season 3, episode 6. So let's check it out.
Or maybe the lighthouse in the woods occupies the same space as Camden, Maine. Maybe it wasn't a wormhole so much as a dimensional rift.
Jade.
I can understand an awful lot of people get confused, but the truth is a wormhole is a shortcut through space and time, whereas a dimensional rift.
Jade, stop.
Sorry, what?
I thought you said you had something exciting to show me.
Yeah. All right, okay, listen. I understand why you might be skeptical. I am too. Something tells me that this has to mean something. The bottle tree was important to Miranda, right? And according to Tabitha, she's the only one who had a connection to this place long before she arrived.
Did you look at the bottles from the other tree?
What other tree? The one in Maine? No, how could
The one. Sarah and I found one of these trees when we went out into the woods together. Wasn't a portal tree, but it still had bottles hanging from it, messages inside. I pulled one down and said 1864. 1864.
Where's the second tree?
But things are really hard, they
Man, that was perfect timing, right? Yeah, you're right. There's two trees, right? Two bottle trees. We got two numbers, but I told you one had a portal, one did not. And so it looks like they're bringing it together. I mean, that I feel like that's a big thing. And I feel like we'll probably once you put the two trees together, I don't know, you get one exit. I don't know. Boyd is being a villain. He's angry at everybody. Yeah, he is. His character is changing. They're all changing. I mean, Boyd's breaking. I mean, that's what's going on. Boyd is breaking. He's going from the optimistic, we're gonna make it if we work together person to, what's all this mumbo jumbo crap. So let's see. There was something else I wanted to. I'll check this group. A lot of these groups have good stuff. Some of them do, some of them don't. Oh, here it is. I thought this was funny. Yo, and I guess this is a scene. This is on Facebook, so I guess um this is an up and coming scene where they get an ultrasound, and so of course at the bottom they got Smiley on there, but I think that's hilarious. But look, they're giving her ultrasound with no bump. I'm telling y'all, no bump. Yeah, boy needs to investigate one by one and what they know, and then they can tell Boyd everything. No one is helping Jade. Yeah, Jade is on his own. Nobody's helping him. Trying to see what else we got here. So I mean, every group has something different, but I'm trying to figure out. They do some digging too. Oh, 1964. This date not on the wall. So I mean, man, they got a hell of a zoom in. Now I can't tell if this is in the cave or is this the suitcase that Victor pulled out, but it looks like it's the cave. So it says this date is not on the wall. So this is what I'm looking for, more of the images from the basement, because I want to see that picture of that guy in the yellow. So yeah, I mean we see a lot of those wheel symbolisms, right? We see a lot of those wheel symbolisms. See, I thought even though it's like this, I thought it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought it was like a 6-point star, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it was like a 6-point star at one point. Now, some of this stuff in the group is just they just tripping, but some of this stuff might be close. Let's see. Like I said, I want to see if there's more stuff in the basement. Yeah, maybe the other tree could be a replica of what Miranda made. So Bank Run says, I think Boyd just tired of being nice and chill, and everyone keeps giving him their ass to kiss. I agree. It has to be frustrating. Man, this group got some crazy photos. I'm looking for more of the pictures in the basement. Because, like I said, I want to see the man in the yellow again. I think it's too far down. Hey, this is kind of what where is he at? This is kind of what David was saying. I don't know if David's still in here, but this was kind of what David was saying. David had something earlier. Let's see if I go back to David. So David said, if you look at the talisman, the symbol in the middle equals the cycle. East and west balancing arms, equinox, top blazing sun, and bottom setting sun. Yeah, so that would be your breakdown right there, David. Here we go. So I mean, this might be the best we come up with. But in the basement, um, I mean, there was tons and tons of like drawings like this. So this guy on Facebook is saying I fiddled around with some of the tones and colors, brightened up the image, and got one on the right. This is from the episode where Tabitha was in Miranda's basement of paintings. My first thought is that those are Viking style forearm and hand wraps. It's holding a bind runed talisman, but the face is pretty messed up, almost looks like a creature with their freakish bulging eyes. And the first thing that somebody in the comment says is that is Jade. Here's another picture of it. Man, a second picture looked crazy. What do you guys think? So the Grumble Door says, think of the left and right humans being two different universes. When the sun and moon on both universes align via some kind of eclipse, it opens up portal. Could be. So this guy says it looks like Fatima, her baby. So she had a baby talisman. He said it looks like a crow behind him. Maybe. Think it looks like a crow behind him? Let's see if I can find the guy, the yellow, more of the drawings and the guy in the yellow. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but there's some good stuff there. I don't know if I got any more. I'll try to find it off camera next time I have more. Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like. PM, it looked like a crazy monk. So PM asked, "Have you gone through the picture of the lady in the white long dress surrounded by black lines? I think it's a nun from the 1800s." Yeah, it could be. I can't find any of them right now. I'm trying to find them for example. I can't find none of them. All right, but that's pretty much everything. I just want to come on here and go over some of those pictures, do a little talk, to let you guys know some theories, and try to give y'all some answers. I think some of the people that were asking questions earlier not in here no more, but I'll go over what I said before. I think that there's multiple storylines going on, of course, and one of the stories, the main storyline is to free the children. I feel like we've heard that multiple times. We heard that from Victor himself, and I feel like he's also one of the ones that's actually playing the actual game. Everybody else is kind of distracted. I think that the symbol that Jade's been looking for is the trees. I think we found that out in season 2 when he went to the caves and he saw the kids, and then he looked up and he saw the symbol, and that symbol was the roots of the trees. So I think the symbol is the trees, or the kids are the trees, and that's how come they can control where people go. I'm guessing the boy in white has to be a part of that because he's telling everybody to go through the trees. I believe that the boy in white could have been the last sacrifice. He could have been the eighth sacrifice because there were 7. And so that's the reason why he's moving around more and sort of working to try to help solve the mystery. I think that I think that's what's up with the symbol. I think that's what's up with the We don't know what's up with the talismans, but they fit in there some way. I think we'll get close to that. I think that the next episode we will have more. I showed that earlier. We'll have some more scenes of the kimono woman. Looks like we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out what she wants Elgin to do. Then I believe that we're going to find out if Fatima is pregnant or if she's not. And I believe that we'll find out what the bottle tree is, as far as how those bottles, which are hanging from the bottle tree, are connected to the kids who control the bottle tree, right? I think that's what Jade is trying to solve. So I kind of love Etsy says the ritual the children perform opens a portal or to exit or from the. I mean, I think that if Jade finds out what's in the bottles, he will free the children, but I don't think they'll leave Fromville. I feel like they'll just still be there, but the children will be like, "Oh, we can rest now, thank you," and I think they'll still be stuck in this place, right? So I think that nobody's getting home for real, for real. I don't think anybody's getting home. I think that once they do whatever they need to do, they just die. They all just die, and then guessing since the kids, but I think it's a cycle, right? So I think if they free kids, then this place won't exist no more. But they'll still be there, meaning Jade, all the 12 people, and they'll just die, and then it won't be a place to come back to after that, after they free the children, because I feel like the children are ones that are keeping it in this loop. But they won't have but they're like the power and the energy, and that's why the place has light, that's why the phone works and all these things. I guess there's something evil that's also working against them. I definitely think it's two forces. Let's see. It says, I kind of love Etsy says it happened at the same time that Tabby left. What you mean? Ritual? You mean like the ritual? Yeah, well, I think it has to do with frequency, right? I mean, I feel like we got that in season 2 with the car graveyard, that all the cars came through the radio with a frequency. We've seen multiple connections to frequencies from the radio to the 4 and 7. To frequencies itself. And so I think that it's going to have something to do with, like you said, a ritual or music, right? Music plays a big part of the show, from the intro to, the jukebox in the diner, and then to Jade playing the violin. And I believe it's just going to go to Jade figuring out whatever it is on those bottles and use it to somehow either play something or put in some sort of coordinates in a radio or something. And pretty much they're taking a Close Encounters of a Third Kind approach. That's really what they're doing. That's how you communicate. I mean, a lot of times when you see some of these Conjuring movies, right, or they communicate with the dead through what, like frequencies and music, right? I mean, I think that's exactly what's going to go. But we just have to see what's going to happen once they do figure out whatever in those bottles means from the second bottle tree we just saw. And then we'll figure out, everything else. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's a great time to be a From fan. I'm really happy to be able to get on here. I know it's kind of late, but it's always great to talk From. I'm always glad to have you guys a part of my stream and just participate. I'm going to try to do something tomorrow night as well. And then tomorrow, it'll be Friday, I believe, and then there'll be more. I'll do another stream, and then we'll get ready for Sunday, right? Because that's when episode 6 comes out. So one person said, "Wait, it's out." No, it's not out yet. But what happens is MGM releases like official promos and official trailer. So we just went and watched the trailer. So you can run this back, and you'll be able to see everything we talked about. Of course, I just said that let's see, let me present real quick. Of course, please make sure you guys go to my YouTube page. Make sure you guys follow my YouTube page. Make sure you guys are liking the stream. Make sure that you guys are supporting so that you can be notified when I do my lives. We're going to do the From Trivia Sunday after episode, so get ready for that. Miss T, I hope to see you there as well, and a couple other people. I'll have the trivia ready for Sunday. So that's all I got for you guys. Of course, I'd love to talk to you guys in the comment. If you got anything you want to send me, PM, you say you have a picture that you want to send it to me. My email is in my my bio. Let me see, I can bring it up right now. I think it's in here. If you hit email, here's my email address. It's right there in my bio. A movie guru podcast at Gmail. You guys can email me anything that you guys got. I'll bring it up on the stream. And if any of you guys want to be a guest on the From Trivia, I'm looking for 2 contestants to go head to head and try your luck at From Trivia. So it looks like the final question here, just looking, we're getting ready to end the stream, but you said, what are the monsters on From? Well, I've seen a lot of people ask that question to like Chat GPT. And I mean, it's not that I think that Chat GPT is right, but I think it probably has the closest answer that I've seen. Chat GPT said that the creatures are past residents from the town. And if you look at the town is patchwork, right? It's got like houses from like the 70s. It's got school from like the 60s. It's got the colony house, which is like a 1800 Victorian house. So I think there's tons of people from the town that that somehow got turned into creatures from, you know, the entity or whatever is going on there. And so that's really what they are. They're past residents of the town. And I got a count. I think it's 12 creatures. I'm not sure. But I was going to say they could be related to the kids. You know, kids usually aren't too far from their parents. So if the kids are dead, the parents are probably creatures. I don't know. But of course, yeah, man, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button, and I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Take care, guys.